One second, so do you want a bottle of water?
I'm still starting. I'm not even gonna edit that out. I love you. I counted down and he waited to go. Do you want some water? I had all this time. Do you want some water?
I'm good.
You sure?
Yeah,
Right,
fantastic.
cool. Hello, how you doing, everyone? Back with the good, the bad, and the ugly podcast. And today we have. I'll let you introduce yourself. Because I'm gonna drink my water.
So just out of curiosity, seeing as it's a trio, who is the good, bad, and the ugly here?
Good, bad.
Just out of...
It's the good, but well, if we're talking about, you know what? I'll let you lot decide. I'll let you lot decide. You can decide who is
Razor Ramon just passed, so
that's my guy. You know?
the bad
Scott
guy.
Hall.
Yeah,
I love him.
the bad guy, the original bad guy.
He's rip him, man. I love his fall away.
He said rip him, you know, instead of R.I.P. him.
What was his finishing move again?
The Razor's Edge.
That's it. He used to pick you up like that.
And just dash you down, and Oh.
How old was you when you realised wrestling wasn't real?
Oh my gosh. I don't know. I think my sister told me it was funny. My sister was like, it's not real, and I was just like, why would you do that?
You know, Gabe still rolls around the house in his boots and black pants.
That's fine.
Of course.
No, I'm not wearing a wrestling one now. I would very well be wearing some sort of like the New Day. I still watch wrestling now.
Yeah.
You see, you got a championship belt at home.
No, I haven't got one. I should get John Cena spinning one on the rocks one, just for bands. But I just want to win my own one. I just do it in Muay Thai. Win my own one. I'll walk around like a wrestler, just like crazy. But yes, introduce yourself about just going on Scott Hall.
Ladies first. Go ahead.
You could bench more. You could squat more.
And it begins.
Legs.
Okay. We can do this all day,
He's
mate.
the strongest.
We can do this all day, mate. I don't have a gym in my back garden.
Call me Yujiro Hanma.
I don't have a gym in my back garden.
Your uncle first.
I don't have a gym in the
Hi,
back
my
garden.
name's Chiso Lifts, aka Gable's uncle. Even though I'm younger than him.
No, but you look older. So.
Look at his face.
You know what? I think we're all doing quite well for our age.
Look at this face.
I think
With all those grey
we're all
hairs.
doing okay for our age. I'm just saying.
With all those grey hairs.
Old man chiz.
Small boy.
Old man chiz.
Big Chiso Lifts. Small boy Gable Sion. I've got a podcast. Does quite well. Decent numbers.
That's good numbers, man.
Decent numbers.
Decent.
We have a small boy. He features on there quite regular. And his mouth is always yappity yappy yap. You're gonna see that today anyway. I'm more chill. He's more, Hey, look at me. I know I'm
You're
handsome.
feeling yourself today, innit? Don't know about that
I
part,
look
mate.
good. I look good. I know.
You think
I
so?
know. Obviously.
Okay, it's interesting. What's that word called? Delusions of grandeur. Yeah, I think that's what we'll But why are you rubbing your knee on my... What's going on here, mate?
My enemies are around. Send me 50k.
Enemies are after you.
Send me 50k. Very close. Just right here. Yeah. So that's it, man.
Yeah, Gabriel. Where are we today?
We're in a restaurant, I think, called Sion London.
He says, I think called Sion London.
Morley's Brixton.
Gotham City.
Mornings look really nice today.
Very nice.
Different colour theme.
Boss man, could I have number?
Yeah, number 3, please. But today I didn't even tell you what the topic of conversation was. And first of all, I'd like to thank you guys for coming and also having me on your show.
Yeah,
really
no problem,
appreciate
man.
it. But today is I'm just gonna go straight in. Pause. You guys, I want your best and worst experiences with the Metropolitan Police. Only the Met. I don't want to hear nothing from America. I don't want to hear anything else. I want to hear what your experience has been with the Met. And we'll go with Chiso. What's your best, first of all?
Best?
Yeah, there you go. There must be one. Come on.
I think the time where I got stopped on London Bridge, and I got stopped on London Bridge, and the guy gave me like a blight. This is when I was younger, and they have a license by the insurance, and he was like, "The gov is over there, blah blah blah." But he said to me, he was like, basically, don't drive on the way back down this route. Then I said to him, at the time I had a girl in my car, so I normally never used to drive, but it was late. And remember back in the day, you never had Uber or anything like this. So she lived in Northwest. So I was like, let me go drop her off. So he was like, yeah, on the way back, don't drive down here. And he's like, yeah, go quick before the gov comes. I was like, but it was due to me being mad polite and not, you know what I mean, not trying to run my mouth. The worst, when I said it on my pod when I was going for a jog, me and my cousin, and we came back and
we got stopped by firearms.
Yeah, and they pulled the guns out on us, and I know what I'm seeing, dot, left, right, and centre. I think to myself, you can see me like breathing heavy, sweating. I'm in a multicolored hoodie and you're telling me that someone did a robbery around the corner wearing all black. I'm like, what am I?
Yeah.
Clark Kent or what's his name? Adam West, Flash, or one of them guys that have run around the corner and midway. What, you know what I mean? Changed, and yeah, that's probably one of the worst ones.
Did they put you on the floor for that? Where you, did they? Because that's a oh gosh, why is my vocabulary escaping me? What kind of stop is that? Hard stop. Hard stop. When they pull out the guns, that's what it is.
No, they didn't. And all my neighbours and all the people in the pub that was across my family home all came out. So like they all came out and they were like, alright, why are you stopping these boys and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Because we literally just came from gym, and back then we would go gym and we would run the block. So we run from Brixton to Clapham. We would get to like Clapham Common, run all the way down, then down the hill, Clapham North, through Stockwell and back. So they knew like our routine at that time, because we'd always finish gym late. We'd always be like, we were like the late night crew. So we'd always finish gym at like about 10 o'clock back then. So yeah, it was just.
That must have been traumatizing, though.
Oh, that's, you know what? Funny enough, the next time gun police pulled up on me was, you know where Soul House is in Brixton?
Mm-hmm.
So I was walking up the stairs now, and someone, it was Yellow. So this is it's an event called Yellow. So this is like over 10 years ago. So someone was being a hater. Yellow's a popular house event. It does very well. There's never no drama. Someone said that someone's got a gun in there. So imagine I'm leaving Yellow and I'm walking up the stairs and gun police are pointed. I was just like, right.
Just on site, just straight away. Were you with
funny
anyone
enough,
else?
huh?
Were you with
Like,
anyone
yeah, a
else?
few of us are coming out. But funny enough, the guy who pulled a gun, I knew him from basketball.
And that's the thing about something, isn't it? You're like,
So I started laughing. I was like, "Oh, so you're gonna pull a gun out of me?" Like, and he was hard. So we were laughing about it. Then everyone in the dance got told to stay in.
Yeah.
Then searched the whole place. Found nothing.
That must have taken a long time.
On the way out, they had to search everyone leaving.
Yeah.
Still found nothing.
Yeah. Nah.
So it was just literally just someone's made a call.
Yeah, but I'll give you a little bit of insight how that works. It goes up to, so if you call, it will go to like a supervisor, and they'll assess it.
Yeah.
So just imagine how many calls, and they've got like a special pod to which it goes to. So for firearms and for like certain weapons, it will go to a certain blind manager, and they make the decision on it. So it's not a quick decision.
Yeah.
Because there's times when like we may request some, and they may reject it and say, nah, you can deal with that yourself. So that's why I'm always shocked. Like, you know, when like known people like, they pulled up on me, and I'm like, that is a big decision for them to come out. So they really, really, really believe there was a gun there. Yeah. So yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, literally, they searched the whole place and there was nothing. So it was just like, you literally like the night was going brilliant as well. So you stopped the night early, one, which has affected the promoter. Two, you've inconvenienced everyone by making everyone look like they're criminals on the way out. You know what I mean? It was just weird. It was just weird. And yeah, I don't think they had it in that venue ever again, because probably the owner is there to feel away. You know what I mean? So someone on your comment section, someone was referencing that and how the Met Police are holding down like aspiring artists, and they did the gigs. Yeah, and how they kept on doing. They used to do to gigs all the time. So I'll give an example. So now you're expecting artists like Gigs, who you expect. You want everyone to come out of the street life and all this. So now he's got a buzz. Say he's got a buzz, and he's trying to get shows here and there. But you're saying for years he can't perform in London. Yeah, I don't agree with that. Your fan base is in London. So if you're trying to get someone who's influential to a lot of youths to come out of that lifestyle, you would want them to become successful. So if they're successful now and they're seen as being successful, other youths are gonna follow suit and start dropping out. You know what I mean? But the way it comes across like the Met sees are like, so-and-so raps about blah blah blah. So that means instantly he's gonna influence him. Whereas we see it like over in America now, 90% of the music's always been about that, and all the guys who are now doing very well, not all of them are affiliated. Yeah. You get what I'm saying? No, that is very true, but I think America's side, I don't really like talking about America, but I get your point. Yeah. With the UK,
I think there is more of a scope. There's space for like maneuverability because I do think the police clamp down too hard on that, and they could probably vet it a lot better.
I'll give you an example. Most Brixton artists can't perform in Brixton.
Yeah, it's not fair that you can't do.
So like you can't perform in your hometown.
But you gotta understand the issue though. The issue also arises though. They bring like I've been to the last time I went to see Section Boys a few years ago. People are like, what the hell you went to? Yes, I went to Section Boys as a present and I enjoyed it personally. But what you actually see, the people that actually go to watch Section Boys aren't the people that the police are probably looking for. And that's what the police need to kind of understand. Because what they're talking about, the people that listened, like everyone, like at that time, remember Section Boys first came out, lots of people listening to them. When you go down there, and I look down, and I was sitting at the top, because I'm too old to be down there jumping around. So I'm looking down from my seat in, it was Brixton 02, Brixton, looking down. And it's mainly white kids that will probably never get stopped and searched.
And that's exactly what I was going to
say. This is what the men need to understand.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to go to. Because most times when you see like artists in the black community who tend to do very, very well, the market that spends on music mostly is the white community. Yeah. The market who buys into their merch is mostly, like you said, the white kids who might be from the middle of West Sussex.
Yeah, from wherever.
That has literally, he's travelled to London, he's queued up outside. You always see it, like when I used to live in Brixton, like they'll queue up outside in Brixton like 2 p.m. The doors don't open until 7. Yeah. They're all sitting down on the floor, waiting, excited. When you see like these shows, like I remember like, let's say like we go to a certain concert, you would always tell the locals, we always used to stand in one corner and everyone else was just like random white kids from far off.
And I do think...
And we're just all chilled, just, you know what I mean, just quietly just watching and enjoying. And I just think to myself, it's weird because you're stopping this person's... stopping these people from progressing. Another group who suffers badly from the police, 6-7. So now,
you know what? I really like 6-7.
Due to that, now
I'm gonna get some work. I'm gonna be like, what? But they know. Most people that know me, I really, really got time for 6-7.
So they suffer badly, and this is the thing, yeah. If you keep on stopping them, what do you think is gonna happen? They're gonna go in and out, in and out, in and out.
Of course, I understand that. But you've got the way I see it, Gabriel, I'm going to come to you after. You've been quiet, and everyone's going to be like, right, Gabriel's quiet for a long time. And I appreciate you just being... See, man can be humble. So no one get in the comments and be like, oh, yeah, he doesn't shut up. Because he does. He actually takes in the information. So I got your back, bro, don't worry. But yeah, with 6-7, you got to understand. Like, I like their music, but at the same time, they are actually doing some madness. So there's parts of them, people... Because I know they're a big... The people that rap... Yeah. And then there's the rest of them, and the rest of them are maybe giving a bad name to some of the others, which isn't necessarily fair. But you've affiliated yourself, so the Met just take the stance of, as I said, there should be scope. The stance of, well, you're involved in gangs, guns, violence, drugs, whatever it is. Yeah. So we're just gonna stop you. Easiest way to do it. Think about it. If you're gonna do that any other way, you just go, well, I'll just stop you from doing it, then I won't have any trouble. So I understand that, but it's also not fair. But a lot of the people making decision making. They don't even know who 6-7 are outside of the people that are committing offences. Yeah. Whereas I'll be like, well, I've never seen that person before. I've never seen that. I've never seen that. Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it may need people with more knowledge coming in. But as I said, mass participation people. If you have more black people in, like myself, who actually understand and listen to 6-7 and go, well, maybe actually this person, he's actually talking about this, but I've been to his show and it's mainly white people that don't commit offences, or mainly black people that don't commit of a certain age, then you should be saying, all right, cool, you can have that. Yeah. And it's fair. Gabriel, your best and worst.
I wouldn't say I've had a best experience, because I don't think you should herald a postman for posting letterboxes through the...
Bagliatelli phrase, boy.
I don't think you should herald a postman for posting letters through the letterbox. I wouldn't say I've had a best experience. Worst experience, probably when I got pulled over by Trojan police, because they said the car that I was driving...
Last question.
Yeah, go on.
You said Trojan. How do you, man, know, like, Trojan?
Well, as I said, I've grown in an area, being 14, where, you know, as I said, I was never a bad guy. I had bad friends who did things they shouldn't have done, but I was the guy that, you know, I just came to mark the register, as I always say.
Do you want to know what's funny, though? Back in the day, every single one of us who grew up in my area, Fezzy us by first name and last name. And you know how embarrassing it is, when you get stopped then. one of your aunties or your mum or your mum's friends are walking past and they're calling you up by first name when they're driving past. And I was thinking to myself that when I grew up and I grew out of that under 24, I don't think you understand how happy I was. Because I'm like, rah, like it became like Aladdin, a whole new world.
Aladdin,
it just became a whole new world. But before, like I might be walking and like you said, everyone's getting grouped. So I'm not a bad you, not by nature. Because back in the day, I was an athlete, but I grew up around.
Yeah, you get it by association.
So this person gets stopped, all of us get stopped. Then eventually, it becomes a thing that I'll just be coming back from basketball, carrying a bag. What's he got in there? A basketball, trainers. But just because I'm from here and I'm affiliated with so and so and so and so, it was like, you know what I mean, a trend. And I feel sorry for you. So when I'm driving past, I see that. And the thing is, you want to stop and film, but you can't stop and drive past and film because now you might get 6 points just for
don't do that.
lifting your phone.
Do that, people.
You know what I mean?
Wait, Gabriel, you were saying you missed out on your best, which
you don't really, you don't.
You're on Trojan. I stopped you at Trojan. How you know Trojan? Go.
Yeah, obviously I wouldn't say from being raised in Fortney, because there's some people who've been raised in Fortney who've never had issues with police. So I guess I shouldn't just say because you're from a certain environment that's what's going to happen to you. Of course not. But unfortunately, bought a car one time. This car had already been, ownership had changed over already. So it was no longer owned by the previous keeper who they said had issues with the police. So driving the car through Streatham High Road, I've seen an undercover car, a car that's unmarked, has driven past first. And they'll follow me for a while. And obviously, when you're young, unfortunately, you have this surveillance eyes, which means you can kind of look and see.
2 white guys in the car means they're police. That's what I always say.
Generally speaking.
And you can say that, it's fine.
Yeah, generally speaking. So, and especially 2 kind of like, maybe not middle-aged, but there were 2 mature kind of white guys in the car. I'm looking at my rearview mirror, I'm like, this is police. Because typically you find that usually that kind of age group of men will drive their own cars if they're going somewhere. So I knew it was police. So obviously I'm just driving, minding my own business, and then that unmarked car goes past me, okay, and then goes in front of me. So I'm thinking, okay, maybe these guys are just driving past now, they've left me alone. Only to then see the blue lights now from the marked car.
You understand now why they couldn't stop you before.
Of course, yeah, because they're unmarked. Yeah, so the unmarked car now does like a hard stop, slams his brakes in front of me. So I'm like, okay, cool. And then obviously I'm seeing the lights, I'm realizing what's happening now. So obviously at this point, I know that you don't need to come out of the car. So obviously I'm trying to do hero. I'm trying to do, I know my rights, I know my laws, I know everything, doing my statutes and everything. So obviously I've wound the window down a little bit so I can speak. And no. Get the out the car. I was like, good afternoon. How are you? So then obviously I wasn't going to open the door at first because I don't need to get out of the car. Then the thing came out. I don't know if it was a toy gun, but they had a gun. I don't know if it was real or not.
Nah, I wouldn't.
Yeah, but then the gun came out, and that's when
the BMW that stopped you, the 4x4.
It was I think it was a Vectra. This is time ago. I think it was a. Oh gosh. I'm not too sure.
Volvo maybe.
Yeah, it definitely wasn't a BMW that pulled me. But obviously the cars obviously pulled up. They pulled the toy gun. I think it was a toy gun because they wouldn't have. I'm an innocent guy. They wouldn't have put a real gun out on me. So they pulled the toy gun at me, and all of the anger and arrogance in me left. You know when your mum slaps you and the cool knocks out your walk, so you start walking straight. I had no bop in me, so when they pulled the gun out, I just opened the door. As I opened the door, the guy literally, the way I got manhandled, I was put on the floor, knee on my back, literally just got manhandled. And then they asked me who I was. I told them my name. They said, no, you're so and so. I said, no, I'm not. This is my name. They said, how long have you had the car for? I said, 3 months. The logbook's in my name. So I know already that it's on the system. DVLA and the police system, they sync. So the moment it's been changed over, it's not me. So maybe they thought that the previous guys just changed it over and he's still driving around. I don't know. So obviously they've roughed me up. I had a graze on my face. My jeans got ripped. My t-shirt got ripped. I wasn't struggling, but the way they just dragged me out of the car. So, after now.
Claims direct.
Yeah. After it now, it all happened and they realized who I wasn't the person. For me, it's just, yes, you're doing your job, but there was no apology. Not that the apology would make it better. And the guy just said basically that we assumed that you was the other guy and you had changed the logbook over just so that you can carry on with what you're doing. I said, okay, you've now found out that I'm not the other guy.
Apologize.
Just say sorry. And I think it's the embarrassment. is because we're just straight on high road.
Yes.
So it's the embarrassment which I don't like, where maybe 100 cars could go by and no one even knows it's me. They don't know who I am. But it's the fact that I'm on the floor. I was detained. I was arrested, and they've obviously took about half an hour to figure out who I was. Yeah. And then when they found out who I was, it still took another half an hour again. I'm like, mate, I'm not him. You can see my license. You can see it's me. Yeah. And because I'm known as I'm not known to the police at the time. There's a word they use. You're not known to police. It's like a term they call it.
Just not known. No trace.
Yeah, that's it. No trace. Yeah, no trace. So and that's what annoyed me the most, because it came up, because the name I gave them came up as no trace. It was almost as if they couldn't believe that I'm a John Doe, as in I'm not known to the system. So when I told them
I'll touch on that. Sometimes, depending on like spelling of names, so sometimes, like, okay, it's happened to me. I'll give you an example. I have stopped someone. I know you, so I know, because I arrested you last week, so I know you are in the system, but I might have forgotten your name. I'm not saying this is your example. I'm going to give you explanation. So I put the name through and it comes back no trace. So someone might have made a mistake. So I have to dig further. Okay. So they could have thought. I'm not saying they didn't. I'm saying
when you said made a mistake on what?
So someone could have misspelled it. So when I put it through the radio, the person typing could have misspelled it.
Okay.
Or they could have got something wrong on their end. It could be their fault. Do you
know
what I'm saying?
So buddy.
When they see Nigerian names,
bro, do you get what I'm saying? So sometimes that does happen. I'm not trying to absolve them of anything, but I want to give everyone like both sides. This is why the conversation's happening. You're telling me from your side, and I 100% believe you, but because I'm on the other side, I can be like, do you know what actually happens sometimes? I put it through, and it's like, no, I know this is Dave Bowers or whatever, and I know I arrested them last week. Can you run it again, please? And they go run it again, and I'm like, no, I arrested him. So maybe they made a breakdown, mistake somewhere, our fault, but you're paying for it. And that's not fair.
Yeah? You see, when they take fingerprints and all that,
do
you stay in the system forever?
Depending on the offence and depending if you get charged.
So if you don't get charged, you still stay in the system?
If you don't get, so when you get arrested, you go in. If it's a trigger offence, they take saliva, they put fingerprints on there. They destroy it. Do they destroy it after?
If it depends on the type of offence, you can request to have your data destroyed.
You can request for it to be destroyed.
So basically you can request. So if you don't request for it, then obviously it just stays.
To make everyone happy, always request. There you go. Take accountability for yourself.
You never answered the question though.
Yeah.
So if you don't request for it, then it just stays there.
I'm not sure.
It depends on what the offence.
On the severity of the crime.
Yeah.
So let's say
let's just example of if you didn't do it. So say you've been brought in, they've taken everything, you haven't done it, then I would say request. Do you get me? Because they're supposed to destroy it. I know that we're supposed to destroy. We're not supposed to keep it, especially if you haven't been.
I like the words you're using. Supposed. You need to request. So basically,
the reason I use the word supposed is because I'm not 100% sure. So instead of me saying 100% and I'm wrong, I might as well say supposed to. I know they are supposed to destroy, especially like saliva and stuff. Because if you've done it for a trigger offence, i.e. drugs, they're gonna the police will test you for if you did drugs. So you don't want your DNA on record. So you can say no, get rid of it, especially if I've been found to have done nothing wrong. But as I say in the newspapers, you can see the Metropolitan Police are not perfect, and there are people that are corrupt, there are people that are racist, there are people that are all of them prejudiced, all of them things. So to say it hasn't or wouldn't or didn't happen would be wrong. So that's why I say request. So as much as they're supposed to do it, don't take it as they're gonna do it. Because the Metropolitan Police are people, normal people, they're fallible. People make mistakes and people are bad. And there are bad people in the Metropolitan Police. So I'm not even gonna sugarcoat it. But sorry, I'm gonna keep interjecting because you say interesting stuff. So go on. But Gabe, as you were saying, we need to focus more on that. And it's not that we don't talk about it. And not anyone says it. Black people have been saying for years, it's the car I have, and that's the reason why I'm getting stopped. That should be something that we should be shouting about more. When I get on the train, I don't get stopped. When I'm walking, maybe some people do when they're walking, but us, I don't get stopped. It's only in my car, and that is something that maybe I'll highlight more so on the show and talk about more because it's a really interesting topic. I've never thought of it that way. I always used to say, it's because the car I'm driving, but I never used to compare it to when I'm walking out on the street.
I wouldn't go as far as saying it's the car. So for instance, I've seen certain instances where someone has been in what they classify as a nice car, and they feel that it's the nice car that has got them stopped. I'm not a police officer, so maybe you'll probably have a better answer to me than what I'm thinking. But I don't think particularly it's the car per se. I think it's In the same way, a ticket inspector has a job. Okay, in the same way, he might see a car parked up and might give you a ticket.
Trying to hit numbers.
You know, whether you like it or not, whether there is a commission involved or not in regards to ticket officers, you've gone out for 6 hours, 7 hours in a day, and you need to tell me you've not got no parking tickets.
You've got no returns.
In the same way, as a police officer, I'm not saying there is a quota or there isn't, but let's just say you're on the beat, whatever the term is, and you've been on the road 9 hours. Let's say that you haven't found anything, and you're in a particular hotspot area where typically when Gary goes out, you know, he gets maybe this amount of tickets or stops, but you've been out the whole day and you've got nothing. Now, it's a shame that I'm going to say there's profiling in every industry you're in. For instance, when a customer comes into my restaurant, I profile them.
I agree.
When a customer rings me to make a booking, I profile them. I'm going to make a blanket statement and say we all do it.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm not going to sit here and say that there's not racism in almost every industry you're in and profiling. It's just unfortunate that I feel, and I can only talk with London and myself and my immediate circle of our experiences, because I don't like to talk for all black people, because there's going to be some black guy somewhere who's had a great experience with police, never probably been stopped.
Yeah.
So I don't ever try to tarnish everyone with the same brush. However, do I dislike the police as an institution because of the experiences I've had? Yes. Do I dislike individual police officers for the job they do? No. So that might sound like a contradiction. For instance, you're a police officer, okay? Do I dislike you for being a police officer? No. Okay, because when you take the badge off, I'd like to think that you don't put it on and turn into Superman and believe you're, you know, an SIA member, Superman in action. So I'm going to assume that you don't, that doesn't happen to you, you know. But we've seen jobs worse, where like, for instance, you know,
people at McDonald's that don't give you extra barbecue sauce.
Okay, or Uncle Fidel that works in Tesco's that wants to be an extra jobs worth. We've seen jobs worth.
Yeah.
You know, people that do a bit much, and sometimes I think that happens. And I always say that people don't change. When you give them power, they just become who they really want to be.
It just amplifies.
Ultimate
Say,
power. Ultimate power
corrupts.
Corrupts ultimately, something like that. Yeah. And it's true. And I agree with your point, because it's just certain. There are certain officers, and there are officers. Let me rephrase this. There are officers in the police that do have that mentality. In that they put on the uniform and then they become everything that they always wanted to be, and that they're not, and they flip through their job, and it's dangerous.
Those are those guys who got bullied in school, innit?
I mean, everyone says that bullied in school. They probably more so. Yeah. There are people like
Trying
that.
to get revenge on the world.
Yeah, there are people
Sad.
like that, and it's sad.